Naval Government Executive General Order Number 243. Chamorro must not be spoken, except for official interpreting. When the 1898 Spanish-American War was over, the Treaty of Paris resulted in Spain selling 3 territories to the United States. One of these territories was the island of Guam. As the United States were now responsible for managing their new territory, the president issued an executive order and had the Department of the Navy govern the island. For the US Navy to assimilate the population of Guam into American rule, the Navy would have to make the people speak English. The Navy saw English as a superior language that they had to make the Chamorros speak in order for them to become a more civilized society. However, at the beginning, there were barely any people on Guam who spoke English. 75% of adults on Guam spoke Chamorro, which was their original language. 50% spoke Spanish because they were formerly ruled over by Spain, and there were only a few who were educated in the English language due to being the only Chamorro people working in whaling ships or port cities in which they interacted with American sailors. So, to get Guam to speak more English, Governor Roy Campbell Smith issued the Naval Government Executive General Order Number 243, which banned the use of Chamorro everywhere on Guam except in the court, where it would be used for translation purposes. This policy infringed on the Chamorros' civil rights to speak their language as well as their economical rights to choose what job they want. Within schools, students were reprimanded when they were caught speaking Chamorro. They would be given a ticket and would receive physical punishment at the end of the day or monetary fines if they broke the policy. Within the sport of baseball, which was growing in popularity with the youth of Guam, players were not allowed to speak Chamorro on the field in order to encourage the use of English. Within the job market, people who could not speak English were not allowed to work for the Navy. They could not enter educational, medical, or government fields if they did not know English. As a result of these changes, the people of Guam surprisingly did not feel compelled at first to abandon their local language. Chamorro still resonated with their culture and identity, focusing on going to church and working in farming or fishing rather than learning English in schools. Furthermore, since at the time, education was only mandatory until a student was 12 years old, most people left school early. They just did not want to invest the time in learning or using English daily. However, as time progressed to the 1940s, the population began to see English as the superior language or the language of success. Influenced by American culture, media, and news outlets, the Chamorros began implementing English words into their vocabulary. A simple, "okay," in one conversation between a few Chamorros quickly became a major language shift from Chamorro to English. This dramatic influx of the English language resulted in 75% of Guam's population speaking the language. With the responsibility to govern and civilize the people of Guam, the Navy had been successful in shifting the primary language of Guam from Chamorro to English, although it did come at the cost of altering a few civil and economic rights of the Chamorros.